Don't start a Shopify store if you want to succeed in e-commerce. Now, that may sound like the craziest thing that you've ever heard, and I get it, because Shopify stores crush. You can make a hell of a lot of money with them. But here is the thing. You see all these people on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram Reels and all these different platforms where they say, start a Shopify store, become a millionaire in 3 weeks. And look, that stuff's great and it happens. It's really, really effective. But what they don't talk to you about is the downsides, especially if you're a beginner, of starting a Shopify store and going through that route. It is very easy as a beginner to succeed at selling products online, making an income, selling products from anywhere in the world, but it's extremely hard to do that as a beginner with the traditional start a Shopify store, run ads route that you've probably seen time and time again. Let me explain. The first thing is, if you're a beginner and you're starting with that model, you are jumping into the deep, deep end. You are diving into the Mariana Trench of starting business models. Think about it. You need to learn how to find products, how to write copy, how to build a store, how to do back-end email automations, how to launch ads, how to scale ads, how to write ads, how to analyze the data, how to do fulfillment, how to set up all your apps. There is so much that goes into it that I'm barely touching the surface just there. It is a very complicated business model because there are so many elements that tie together to make it work. The next thing is the financial side of it. If you want to do a Shopify store and run ads to it and make this incredible 10K a day Shopify store, while it's possible, in order for you to get there, you need to find a winning product and test it to prove that it's going to work for you. Now, what does that really look like? You might take 5 or 10 products, right, that you found that might be good winners. And then each of them needs to have $300, $400 in ad spend just to run and see if it's going to make sales and if it's going to be profitable. So for many people who I've spoken to, they have gone time and time again, testing products. This entire budget that they had put aside to fund and build their business gets wiped out so damn quickly because they test 1 product, flop, 2 products, flop, 3 products, flop. And even though that's part of the process, eventually you'll find one that absolutely crushes. You might end up 10, 15 grand deep in ad spend with nothing to show for it except a frown on your face. It is a hell of a lot of money up front, and for most people, it's unviable. The next part of it is tied to that, but it's the emotional stress of that. If you're somebody who's starting their very first business, but you're expected to go out there and spend all this money upfront on ads, on stores, on software, on apps, and all these different things, you have the financial stress and the financial burden and anxiety of this has to work, this has to work, this has to work. And if you've ever thought like me, every time that I've tried and really needed something to work, it usually doesn't. It's just the way that the universe works. And so if you get so latched on because you're so stressed about spending all that money because it's your first time doing it, well then chances are you're gonna be disappointed and it's not gonna work out for you. And the last thing is that there's no guarantees. You're setting up a store, you're investing all this money into software and ads in order for you to maybe make sales. You could go through that whole process and make nothing. If you're a beginner and you likely have a small amount of capital that you can put towards your business, the last thing you want is to gamble it on spending money on ads, on stores and software, praying that it might turn a profit. And as you've seen for a lot of people, they run out of money a hell of a lot earlier than they do get to that first winning profitable product. Now here's the thing, it used to be a hell of a lot easier to put products up and succeed with it. In fact, it's one of the things that I started my journey with. I taught this model to my first round of coaching clients, and guess what? We got incredible results and it worked. But over time, as ad platforms become more competitive, people are becoming more aware, it's a little bit trickier to get that winning product off the rip. I stopped teaching it to my beginner clients because I realized that number 1, it isn't the easiest way for somebody who's a beginner to get started online. And number 2, it's one of the more stressful ways to get started online in the e-commerce space. And while we teach this model today to our advanced students, and we've got students making 20 grand a month, 40 grand a month, 100 grand a month with their Shopify stores, we start all of our beginners on a very different system, and we call it organic dropshipping. Now what that means is that we're still selling products online, we're getting cash flow coming in, we're making sales, we're having fun, but we're doing it organically, not a dollar spent on advertising. We're not building big Shopify stores. We're not having to get big subscription bills and software bills before we've ever made a dollar. We've taken out almost every single one of the expenses so that you can focus just on learning one skill, making money, and every sale that you make, you're making profit because you don't have outgoings in the form of advertising expenses, software, apps, and all the complicated stuff. Every sale you make, you are making a profit. It is beautiful, it is simple, it is enjoyable, it is streamlined, and you can start right now. Now, organic dropshipping is really, really simple, and it's really cool. What organic dropshipping is using organic platforms, which means free platforms, so platforms which are already on your phone, that people are already shopping on, that you don't need to pay to advertise on, or barely anything to advertise on. The three that we teach our members is Facebook Marketplace, which is on Facebook, right? Your eBay and your Etsy. These are three apps that are likely already on your phone where every single day customers are scrolling all day, every day, looking for new stuff to buy, impulse purchases. So if you learn how to find products that people are actually willing to buy, hot products, impulse buy products, and put them onto those platforms where it doesn't cost you money to advertise on and people are already buying on them every single day, well then you don't need a store. You don't need to spend money on ads. All the people are already there. All you need to do is put the right products in front of the buyers, and when you make a sale, you drop ship and fulfill the product through an AliExpress supplier. Now, what's really cool about this is normally you would have to pay to test products. You have to spend all this money on ads to test a product to see if it's going to work for you. But with this, it costs us nothing to put products up on Marketplace and eBay, and it costs 20 cents a product to put it up on Etsy, which is almost nothing. And then once we've put them up there, if it's proven, it's gonna start making sales. So in equivalent, we're actually getting paid to test products, as opposed to paying to test products and seeing nothing in return. So all you're doing is finding hot products, getting paid to test them in the form of sales, and then once those products start to make sales, you can go ahead and fulfill through a supplier, and it's a win-win. Now, I have other videos on this channel about how to do this, what kind of products you should be looking for, the criteria that's involved in them, what you should be putting in your listings when you're putting a product on eBay, Etsy, Marketplace, what needs to be in that listing. I've got videos about that and I'll link it below. But to summarize it in the shortest time possible, when you're looking for a product, you're looking for a product that either solves a problem, like a teeth whitening kit, for example, or something that has wow factor, or it's eye-catching, it's cool to look at. Something that even if it doesn't solve a problem, people can see it and go, I like that. That would look cool in the kitchen. That looks fun. I want to show that to my brother. I want to bring that to my friend's house. Could be anything. It could be a gizmo, a gadget, some cool home decor, some cool dishes, some cool plates. We've got people making literally $5,000 a month selling golden teaspoons of all things. And that's just because it's eye-catching and it looks cool. Regardless of what the product is, if it fits the criteria of either solving a problem or it has some sort of eye-catching wow factor to it, it is a product worth testing. And because it doesn't cost us anything to test them, we'll push it straight through to testing just to see if it works. When you put it onto these platforms, eBay, Etsy, Marketplace, ensure that the listings have high quality photos, which you can take from your supplier. Make sure there's no Chinese writing or anything like that. Make sure your descriptions are benefit rich, they're short, they're engaging, they look like they're written by a human. It's not some big copy and paste paragraph with how many watts are in the battery charger. None of that. A short, tight, concise, human written description of the product, and then from there, pump volume. Put more products up each and every day, 3, 4, 5, 6 products. Just do it. Finding products is easy. If you go to AliExpress, you know it needs to just fit one of these 2 criteria, go find them, put them on there with a good listing, 3, 4, 5, 6 a day. What will happen is, just by you doing the work for an hour a day or so, you will get products on there and you will start to make sales. And once you start to make sales, you're finding winners, you're making money. You didn't have to build a store, you didn't have to spend any money on ads, but you're making money online. And then if your products are crushing it and you got one that you want to take and build into a Shopify store and run ads to, well then your success rate and your chances of that becoming a big brand that you can really rake in money on, it's already 10 times, 100 times higher because you've already made money on it, you've spoken to the customers and you know that it sells. And you don't have to risk tens of thousands of dollars on ads to get to that point. But the bottom line is, if you're a beginner, play it smart, don't play it hard, start an organic dropshipping business. That's what we teach. If you want to go deeper on it, I have some other videos here on the channel. I've got interviews with my students who have done exactly that, who have done incredible numbers. If you have any questions, let me know here in the comments. But so with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Hope that was helpful. Take care.